In this video, we'll be looking at ways to graph lines when they're already in slope-intercept form. Slope-intercept form is when you have the equation y equals mx plus b. In other words, y is by itself, you have something with x, a coefficient with x, and then a plus or minus b, so some number here which could be 0. So let's start on how we do this. If we look at the equation y equals 2x plus 3, we start by graphing the y-intercept. B is the y-intercept. So in this problem, 3 is my y-intercept. So I go to the y-axis, and I put a point at 3, because that is my y-intercept. Then I look at the m, the number in front of the x. That's my slope. Slope is rise over run, so it's represented as a fraction. If you look at the number 2, there's no fraction, but we know we can write 2 as 2 over 1. So rise means the amount will go up is 2, and run is the amount will go over, which is 1. So we'll rise 2, go over 1. You could rise 2 again, it does go off the graph and go over 1. If you needed to stay on the graph, you could actually do the opposite, down 2 over 1, because you're going the opposite direction. And then you can just use a straight edge, which I don't have, unfortunately, just to connect your points. And you have the graph. So that's for the equation y equals 2x plus 3. Next, let's look at the equation y equals negative 2/3 x minus 1. We start by looking for our b, our y-intercept, which in this case is negative 1. So I put a point at negative 1. And then I look at my slope, which is negative 2 over 3. So instead of going up 2, I have to go down 2 because of this negative sign. So down 2, and then over 1, 2, 3. Down 2, 1, 2, 3. And I can graph my line. And that's the equation y equals negative 2/3 x minus 1. Notice this line is going down instead of up because it has a negative slope. On this next equation, y equals negative 3/4 x plus 3, give it a try to graph it yourself. Pause the video and on a sheet of paper, see if you can graph it. Okay, to start this problem, we look at our y-intercept, which is positive 3. So I put a point at positive 3. My slope is negative 3 over 4, which means instead of going up, I'm going to go down 3 and then over 4. I can also do the opposite if I plan on going left. So instead of going down, I'm going to go up 3. Instead of going right, I'm going to go left 4. And that keeps me on the graph. And then I can just connect my 3 points. And I have the line y equals negative 3/4 x plus 3, which is also negative. Hopefully you're able to get that one fine. And let's look at our last problem. Pause it again and try it out and see if you can see what to do with this, because this one is a little bit different. Okay, the difference in this problem is you don't have any plus or minus number. But the number that really goes there for b is plus 0. We don't ever have to write plus 0. If you add 0 to anything, it keeps its identity. So if I start my graph with a y-intercept of 0, it's right here at the origin. And I just have to look at my slope, which is 2, which is really 2 over 1. So up 2 over 1. Up 2 over 1. And then you graph your line. And it's positive, of course, because of the slope. Sorry, I don't have quite the straight edge here, so it doesn't go perfectly. But that would be my line right there for y equals 2x.